bad first point defense is played. So I'm gonna run through it. A lot of times in ranked, you'll see like maybe a Reinhardt or a Roadhog or something will hold this choke. And while it is kind of a disgusting choke, people forget you can rotate through this hotel and poke it out, like just poke out whatever they're doing in the choke from here. Or you could wrap this side. And also, this rotation is completely free if you're on some kind of dive tank or something, and then you have access to backline. And if you can pretty much remove, that's what's so strong about first points defense is all of these high ground positions that have advantage over point. So any tank that tries to force point is going to get poked out from here, from here, from here, and potentially from here as well. Like it's not usually going to happen if you try to Reinhardt force point on a highly coordinated team. So what you'll probably want to look for, you also have to keep in mind of like Widow peaks early in the game or like Hanzo peaks. If you're holding this choke, you're kind of baiting your supports into walking into that sight line from the top there. So also keep that in mind. Anyways, most tanks will either hold, if you're like a hazard, you hold on top here to like take advantage of your verticality and you'll shoot them as they walk up. If you're like a Zarya or Sigma or something, you probably hold here, spamming a choke, and probably back up to this next corner. And so you'll try and juggle touch as best you can from here. If our tank is the one to touch, we can also just completely forego having a tank down here at all. Say we have a Sigma or a Orisa or Zarya, they can also be a part of shooting anyone who touches point for free. So we have something like a BAP or an Ana or Zen set up on here, or like an Ashe set up on here. And so anyone who touches point is going to get destroyed. Now, the work around this is some teams will rotate through right side up through these stairs, and they'll take maybe a Kiriko two-piece with a tank or something, and they'll force whatever this tank is back. And so the next fight from here, if there's like tank and support, it's like a tank and support on this side, tank and support on this side. And then they'll also, to combat these high grounds, they'll try and send, if this is free, they'll send like a Genji through here, and the Genji can get up to these high grounds and challenge hit scans from here, and that really favors the Genji a lot. So what some teams have started doing, I've seen, is they'll run a Symmetra, and Symmetra turrets through here and TP to get out if you're really pushed hard is just really tough for any Genji or any Tracer to work through on this side. So I don't, if we have any symmetric players, we can do that. But you can also just stick a Tracer or a Reaper here. Anyone trying to rotate through Hotel is going to have a hard time against Tracer or Genji, Reaper, anything like that. And then the rest of them are probably more like Ana's, Baps, Zens, Kiris, Ashes, Sojourns, just raining down hellfire from these different high grounds. Our tank either sets up to here, so he's already forcing point. The problem is if you set a tank, if he's off the high ground when you're forcing point, if a team's good enough, they'll recognize that and they'll just rotate away from him as fast as they can and try to take these high grounds before he can rotate back up to take the fight. If it's like an Orisa or something, there's only spear spin, there's no speed. They're probably going to beat him if they're on like Winston or something and they're jumping your backline from here and the Orisa can't get back to fight him in time. So it's why most teams start their tank here and have him drop for point touches. Maybe also we had a Genji, the Genji or the Tracer can point touch so we don't have to drop our tank. It depends on what you want to run, but bottom line is these high grounds are insanely impressive. Imagine Ana nades from this sight line or Baptiste shots from this sight line or Ashe dynamites from this sight line, just stuff like that. So if you manage to rotate around, basically, you can also have, if you're attacking, your tank might be pushing through high ground. So you might have, we've seen Alaris kind of park here and they're fighting with their pylons and stuff because they can't rotate through here. So some teams just take really heavy poking, go as far as will like play around statue or play around hotel covers to poke out. It's really up to, like, there's so many team comps that can work on this first point. But it's really up to your preference. There's this, there's the tight room, small side, Tracers, Lucios, Reapers, Genjis can work here. And you have all these high grounds available for hit scans, DPS, and sports. And then tanks usually want to stop this rotation while being able to shoot point. So that's first point, King's Row. Okay. Anyway, so if there's a cap, obviously this choke is nasty. This choke is really difficult. The only way to break it is through here, which can be poked out by our hit scans all the way back there. Maybe we set up like a Kiriko or something as like a little off angle here. Keep in mind that this is a flank. Tracers and stuff will often take this to access back flank either through here or they'll keep rotating. Keep in mind, you'll see like Kiriko's too. Kiriko's and hit scans, once you get pushed back past this choke, will flank this side and they'll have a lot of free shots on this. But hit scans can hold here. Tanks can hold choke. Genjis and stuff watching this high ground, something like that. And it makes this choke really almost impossible to break without a support ultimate, honestly, or a really good shatter or something. And then just don't forget about high grounds on King's Row. Don't forget about sometimes you'll see Ashes with Bobs go for this sneaky flank if there's not a Genji on the team to punish them. So they'll drop with Dynamite and Bob from the backside, and it's like a crazy push. So don't forget about these flanks. Don't forget about just the high ground. Everybody plays King's Row pretty much on the ground, but there's just so many high grounds that people forget about to access. Hazards and balls can also delay up here if they know the tech, so careful about that. This high ground kind of you don't really want to stay here. You're just completely exposed in the open. It's kind of bait. You can rotate your BAP through here, maybe even rotate him all the way back through here so he has cover to help here, stuff like that. Also keep in mind, this is another flank if you're attacking. Going left side, but once you get here, it's not really like a tracer angle. If you're a tracer, you have to keep rotating. But if you're a hit scan, you can take this off angle and just poke at the tank from here with the support. So keep in mind this flank. Keep in mind of wrapping behind on the high ground. It's also rough. Okay, so say you cap second point here. Now you have to deal with these oppressive defenders high grounds. It's probably going to be an Ashe or a Sojourn set up here. Maybe they TP it on up here for crazy nade angles. If your tank is not dive oriented, you're probably going to have to run Sigma or Orisa, but like you gotta find a way to challenge this with like even a Genji rotating up to here, slashing a high ground with a bubble or something. If you're a tracer, you're probably stuck rotating through here is an option. It's not great. If you can as a tracer, don't forget that this is an option. You can rotate through left side here. And you can poke, and you have cover here. And then also don't forget to keep rotating. A lot of teams get stuck out in the open here. It's just not quite as good. Also, if you're a defending hit scan or BAP or whatever, and you lose this high ground, it's not the end of the world because you also have this high ground, and that's another leap they have to make basically, and then more poke, more better for you. If you're a support stuck back here, keep in mind of this flank. And if you're about to push cart, don't everyone stack on cart. We're probably gonna need people like even something sneaky like a support here being forgotten about. Basically, everyone trying to snack on cart, and when they come back, they're going to surround you pretty easily. Just don't forget that in cart fights, fighting for space like this, or behind point, or these boxes and stuff like that. All right, so that's it for King's Row.